Hello everyone and welcome back to Princess Pudding Plays. So today we're going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be doing a speed design. So this area I'm going to make into a rock band sort of area. And for the interest of time and the speed part, I will be fast forwarding through my design portion of this. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to see more of this. Okay, so in the beginning I wanted to get my base layer down. And I would consider my base layer to be like the fencing and the simple panels that I want in the background. So I was placing those, trying to figure out where I wanted them, how I wanted them, and if I wanted the fencing in front of it. I decided that the fencing did look really good in front of it. I also debated between the corral fencing and the lattice fencing. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to go with. 'Cause both are really pretty. I don't think taking a really good hard look at it, even in even super sped up. I looked at that for a long time, and then here I decided that I did like the way the lattice fence looked, but that I didn't like the color and that I wanted it to be white. And I was like, well, maybe you can customize the fencing. I don't know if they've added that into the game or not. And instead of just looking it up, I decided I might as well just go ahead and try it anyway. Unfortunately, I found out that no, you can't. You cannot customize your fencing. I imagine in the future this is going to be something that they're going to add to the game, but for now, it's not. Yeah, I went to go craft. I always do that. Yeah, this is me finding out you can't customize the fence. So to heck with it, and we're gonna go back and we're going to go ahead and work with the we're gonna go ahead and work with the lattice fencing anyway. And then I think this is where I realized that I want flooring underneath the fencing. Yeah. Me running around trying to figure out what I want to do. Yes, and this is me figuring out that I want flooring underneath, or path underneath the fencing and the simple panels. But here I do path swatching. I wanted to look at the simple panels with the fence and figure out which one I liked best, which one matched the best. And then I also, if you run over different paths with different shoes, they all sound different. This is me realizing I actually had a custom design that I had saved that I wanted to use for this project. And I was like, oh, I'm going to use all that. And then, but your custom paths don't pop up on the map, and they also don't make sound like the vanilla paths do. So I decided that I was going to place wooden path down all over and then put the custom path on top in order to get the path to show up on my map, and so it would still sound like wood when I walked on it. because little touches like that, I think, go a long way. And then I think it's when I placed the fencing again and the panels, I decided that I didn't like the custom pathing at all. It just looked too fake to me, where the vanilla pathing has, you know, different colored boards and they don't all match up. And it sounds so good. And that's why I ran around, because I love the sound of the wood path. And yes, so this is me placing the fencing and the ironwood table that I wanted to use, and seeing that the lattice fencing and the wood path do go pretty well together, whereas the custom design just would have been too dark. This is me going back and changing the color of the ironwood table, because I didn't like the way it went with the wooden path. I really wanted to go with the old. I kept becoming gravitated to the old one because I wanted to make this music area look rustic and lived in, and I feel like the old would have achieved that, but I also felt like the wooden path wouldn't have gone well with it. And this is also me going and doing the simple panels again. I felt like the wood on wood on wood wasn't good. I felt that's just too much brown going on and too many different shades of brown. So this is me playing around with the different patterns. Just me looking at all my different options. I really like the alligator print, but I think I'm gonna save that for my Hawaii. I think that'll be more tropical for that, because this is right on my miniature America beach. I ended up with that pattern, and it was tied with this other pattern that I'm about to pick. Yeah, it was like blue or green or that other black and white zigzag pattern, but I decided on the green because I do want to go for the natural, lived-in, rustic, almost like garden cafe sort of feel. And I felt that both the green pattern and the shape pattern wouldn't interrupt that. Me trying to figure out which one it was. So this is me matching up the fencing again, seeing if I do want to go with the corral or the lattice against the different patterns, seeing how they'll look. So yeah, this is me putting the lattice against the green and the corral against the triangles to see what goes best. Decided that the green and the lattice were the winners. They looked the best and they matched better with the wooden path. And then this is me making a mistake. I ended up leaving that over the wooden path, and that's not how I wanted it, and I'm gonna fix it here soon. I realized that I now need to customize all of my simple panels to have that the green tree print on it, and I didn't have enough customization kits, so I went ahead and bought more. And then I'm going to go back down and use those customization kits to customize those simple panels. Yep, so I gotta go through each one. I also was really debating, I don't have any other colorway of the simple panel other than the, I think, pine or just wood, and then the gold. Those are the only ones I have. So, between that and the gold, I did choose to stick with the gold, just to save myself from having to to time travel to get the other panel. So I just stuck with the gold one. I think it looked best anyway. In retrospect, I'm glad I stuck with it. And because the gold and the green, I think, go really well together. So now I'm going to place all of the simple panels in the back to cover up the diner, because I don't want the two different spaces to be seen. Sometimes it's nice to have different spaces, you know, all kind of intermingled with each other, but I really wanted them to have two very separate vibes. So I decided to use the simple panels, now that I've chosen the correct pattern, to cover that up, to create two separate, not intermingled areas. This is again me testing to see how I feel about the ironwood table being next to the pattern and the simple panel. I still don't like the colorization of it. I think it's too dark against the very cherry color that the wooden path has, but I ended up not using it anyway. I didn't have enough room because the table is absolutely enormous. So this is me expanding more. I definitely needed more room, and then me deciding where the entry should be. I decided it should be more to the right to give myself more room to place fencing. I wanted to have the entrance be the rope fencing, but this just made it look like Rainforest Cafe and not Elegant Garden Tea Room Cafe. Because even though they're both like a forest themed cafe with lots of greenery, one of them is corny and for children and the other one is more sophisticated, and I felt like the rope fencing was not giving me the sophisticated vibe that I wanted. So I stole the wedding fence that I previously placed in a rose garden that I was going to have in my miniature France that I didn't like how it turned out, so I kind of abandoned it. So I stole the fencing from there, and now I'm using that instead of the rope fencing. So yeah, I decided that that one did look better, and this is just me placing it. I didn't know if I wanted to use this for just the entrance. So you'll see I place it for just the entrance, or the first quote unquote wall, and then I go around with the lattice fencing. So just me going around, placing it just along the border. I do like my fencing to be underneath the pathing. I think it just makes it look more put together. Yeah, there's me messing up and placing it on the grass. I don't like the way it looks that way. Yeah, and then I decided that completely enclosing the area with the lattice fencing looked too boxy. It didn't look open enough because, again, I am trying to go for a garden-esque sort of feel, and I feel it did not, that's just not what got captured. So I went around with what wedding fence I had left to maintain the more open feel. I didn't have a lot left. I'll have to get more to finish what I have left. But I didn't want to have to stop recording, so I'll have to get more. I think I'll have to time travel back to the event. I'm not sure that I have any left in my storage, so this is just me grabbing the decorations and the instruments to place. That was the wedding welcome sign, and I customized it, I think, to the chic or the natural. I'm not quite sure, but I thought that that looked very nice, and it matched the pattern that I ended up choosing. So I customized that beforehand, and that's the vibe I wanted to go for this area. But I didn't even think about it with all of the wood that I was placing, that maybe I should add more green to my design. And this is me trying to pick a song. I couldn't decide which song would be best. I still feel that I don't have the perfect song for this area. I think I ended up with KK's Swing in the end, because I come back and I do this again. Yeah, this is just me listening to little bits of all of the songs that I do have. I know there are a bunch of songs that I'm missing, so maybe if I get those, I'll be more satisfied with the selection. No, this first time around, I think I ended up with the DJ one. Yeah, that one. So yeah, I ended up picking that one first. And then I was like, oh, that song doesn't really match the vibe later on. Yeah, this is me trying to place the ironwood table. It's humongous. You can't get around it. I ended up taking it out. I'm going to place booth seating later. It's kind of like a lounge area, but there's no reason to really have a table. I think just having seating will be just fine. And this is just me grabbing the instruments and placing them where they belong. So we've got the drum set in the center, of course, because it's the largest. And then I decided that maybe these stereos aren't placed exactly where I would like them. And yeah, this is just me fiddling around with placement since I know it seems like I spent most of the time with the foundation, but things like this, I'm probably even going to go back now and change a couple of things out, because the base overall is really what I wanted to get done. Yeah, so this is me going back and deciding that DJ KK was not matching my garden vibe. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go back. I do want to place flowers and bushes and a tree. I think I'm going to place a tree maybe right in that corner, and just make the river a little more narrow on that side to get a tree in the background. Yeah, I ended up with KK Swing. That matched, I imagine that they would be playing jazz. And then of course if you're doing jazz, you need drums, you need sax, you need a microphone. I did have an electric guitar with me. I decided that was that wasn't good. There's no electric guitar in jazz as far as I'm aware. So yeah, I have an amp and an electric guitar that I did not use. I'll have to use it in a different music area. Because this is not the only one I want. I definitely want a different music area because of course there's jazz, there's pop, there's rock, there's classical, and they have instruments to reflect all of the different genres of music that there are in the game. So I want to have different music areas in all parts of my island, and I think that this little area is perfect for the jazz genre. Yeah, this is just me figuring out where I want all my floor lights to go. I stuck with I think these are purple. I stuck with that because I think that that a cool color was complementary, and that green and purple are for they're for Mardi Gras, but that's if I'm not mistaken, they both originate, jazz and Mardi Gras originate from Louisiana, so felt that those went well together. But this is pretty much how it turned out, and I just need to, you know, fill it out with some more greenery, but that was about it for my speed build. Thank you everyone for watching the video. I hope you liked it. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you did, and put down in the comments below what you think of the final result.